Located right here on the busy Smithfield Historic Street, the Nelms House is an opulent example of Victorian excellence, and inside you'll find a time capsule of period decor, from furniture to other treasures. Has anything been like painted over the years, like since you bought this house?
Yeah, it's been repainted. I think maybe the former owners painted it the bright colors, and before that, I think it was probably your typical off-white or white colors. We're really not sure because they stripped the entire exterior when they painted it for the former owners. So that kind of took away any of the layers of paint that we could use to identify the colors over time.
Wow. Okay, so outside of the house, that's not the original color.
We don't know what the original color is. The closest I've come to it is they left, sometimes when they strip, they don't strip where there's drain pipes. So I've looked under the drain pipes and seen layers of colors. And there's been all kinds of colors that I've noticed, one of which is like a really, not a bright green, but like a vivid green. How's that for an example? But what period of time that was, I have no idea.
Wow.
I mean, that seemed to be like the oldest color I could identify.
Wow, well, it looks very nice. Shout out to the painter.
Yeah. Yeah, they followed our help to repaint it last spring, and then the company's name is Got You Covered. So they
got you covered.
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to them. They helped us make sure that it was painted the way we wanted it, with I don't know if you know about Victorians and having at least 3 colors to be called a painted lady. Have you ever heard of that?
I heard of the painted lady.
Yeah.
It's also a flower.
Yes. So we're a painted lady house. We made sure we had enough color variation to do that. Yeah, but we used the colors that we used on the inside, on the outside this time. And these are, what I do is I make jewelry out of them. So I bought some of the cameos that didn't have settings anymore off of eBay, and I create a cabochon around it, and then I turn them into either brooches, necklaces, or boho. For example, boho wrapped.
And these are all your designs?
Yeah. So these are all 19th century cameos, but boho inspired with a wrap bracelet.
What would people wear it with? Like formal evening gowns or?
No. Yeah, I mean, a boho wrap bracelet is popular today for just any time.
Okay.
I mean, if you want, because I have cameos on it, you could use it for special times, I guess. But a lot of people just wear them. Boho wrapped bracelets are very popular, and so I've tried to what my point is I'm upcycling the cameos into other things that are like more fashionable today.
Yeah.
And I do eco art, which is, I guess the best one to show would be this, where I take, I have some other artists upstairs we can look at too that do this from the Charlottesville area, but I only use upcycled materials, vintage materials, and I only use native plants. They don't. They use all kinds of different plants, and their colors range is broader than mine. So,
and there's a name for this too.
Eco print.
Yes.
An eco dye.
Yes.
Yeah, this is an eco print.
Okay.
And and an example of an eco dye would be this one. This is eco dyed sari silk from India that I use for the silk, and that is this is elderberry.
Elderberry.
Yeah, I have everything labeled pretty much what I've used. And that's a regular scarf, and then I also designed this cowl neck kind of scarf, which is also eco dyed, but it's also been shibori dyed, so you see a pattern. So you fold the fabric and you dye it, so it creates a neat
Do you find all your fabric from the thrift store and then you just...
No, from eBay.
Oh, eBay, okay.
Yeah, it would be crazy because you can't do this on blends. You have to have pure silk or pure wool or pure linen or pure cotton. And most everything in the thrift store is going to be a blend.
Oh,
so you really take some effort to find stuff that's not. So I use old wool blankets for my
oh, this
scarves
looks warm.
as a cowl.
Not too many people like wool.
So
they say it's too itchy. I like wool. This is pretty
too bad. It depends on the type of wool that you get. Some of it is itchy, some of it isn't. It just depends on the blanket that I end up with. And then you can also make this is eco-dyed. I think this is elderberry too. And this is elderberry, but this is printed with muscadine. The muscadine native plant, grape plant.
Oh, that's my favorite grape.
Muscadine?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I also do eBay finds of wool sweaters and redesign those. I have quite a selection of those.
That's pretty. That looks like it'll be in TJ Maxx or somewhere.
So I don't make the sweaters. I just put the eco prints and the eco dye on. So I'm not a good designer. Here's an elderberry with black walnut. This was white at one time.
Oh, okay.
And you can make purses out of eco print.
Oh,
materials.
Those are neat. Oh,
yeah, we have a leather artist that uses remnants leather.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Oh, that's the real deal right here.
Yep. And this is these are 19th century quilt blocks that I use to make purses and totes.
Where did you find the 19th century quilt blocks from?
On eBay.
eBay?
Because you can sort. It has AI, so you can sort for all kinds of things.
Yeah.
Make sure you're getting what you want. And then I also use Persian rugs. And make...
that's pretty.
That's a 19th century Persian rug. And then I use eco-dyed wool. And 19th century buttons. I have a button ring. Did you see the button rings over there?
I think so.
Yeah, I have a whole host of different buttons from the Victorian and Art Deco period that we make rings out of. And you can pick out your own button and I make it for you. Or you can pick one that I've already made if it fits. So I have lots of buttons.
I think it's so amazing how you can revamp something from old to new and make it new.
Yep, that's the idea. That's the idea of upcycling. Yep, and then we have a new artist here who does similar upcycle work for jewelry. And I have another artist that does crazy fabric stuff like I do over there. And
is this the crazy fabric stuff right here?
Yeah, she uses fabric for...
Oh, that's pretty.
For bracelets.
You have a lot to choose from in here.
And we also invented these this year, which are, you can wear them as a brooch or a pendant, and then there's some that are magnets. And I'm going to do
is that wood?
Yeah. These are branches in our yard. This is a sugarberry tree. This is a Bradford pear tree. And
this is a magnet?
Yep.
Oh, cool.
And I have Osage orange, which we don't have in our yard, but we got Osage orange. Isn't that beautiful?
That is pretty.
So these are magnets.
You can take a little bit of nature with you.
It's a new artist who uses pine needles.
Pine needles, wow.
So taking things from nature is a key thing I like to feature here, and reusing it in a different way.
No wonder I love this house so much already.
And this is a nice version of the cowl. So I put silk. This is eco-printed silk on top, on next to your skin, so it's softer. Because this particular type of wool blanket was a little rough, and I didn't like the way it felt.
And it goes around your neck.
Yep. So you can see the walls up here have all been replastered with the more modern design They're not flat. So I don't know when all of this was changed. It was already like this when we bought it. So you can see we have another private dining area.
Oh.
And the door is closed so you can have privacy if you want to have like a tea party up here. And then on the walls we have lots of eco art from my colleagues who do it, and plus a bunch of other pieces around that are different colors, like I said, and some table runners they make. Another wood artist. We do Victorian batting ornaments this time of year, because back then they used to use scrapbooks. They had lots of scrapbooks. This is batting, quilt batting, cotton quilt batting. So they had lots of batting around because all they did was quilt, right? So they used the quilting material for their ornaments.
So this ornament right here is a 19th century type of style of ornament.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So we have workshops to teach you how to do that, but we also have all these that are for sale. When we opened in 2018, we began with a designer showcase. You know what that is?
Mm-hmm.
Where you get local interior designers to redo each room.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have a fundraiser. So we had 5 different charities, and they selected their interior designer for each room in the house, and they put it together. And then they used all of the furniture and rugs that I'd already purchased, and they decided what they wanted in each room.
Wow.
So that's why it looks the way it does, because they helped design this house. So I have to give a shout out. It's on our website. All the interior designers are still represented, as well as all of the charities that we raise money for. We raised money for like 6 weeks, and then distributed it to the different 5 charities for people coming in. We didn't charge, we just asked for donations.
Oh, okay.
And we would take them through a tour of the house and talk about the designers and charities and why they designed it the way they did. Kind of like a designer showcase if you've ever been in one.
Yeah, I have. That's a nice way to pay it forward.
Yeah. So we kind of opened with that. This is our children's room. I have lots of crazy stuff in there if you want to look in there.
So this is the kids' room. Is this what a typical child's room would look like?
I have no idea. I have no idea. I just pick things that I like that are vintage to use in the room for the kids to play in if they're here with their family for an event or tea and coffee. Plus there's stuff for sale too. And this bed is one of my favorite beds that I've ever seen in my life. This is called a cottage bed.
Oh.
And it's actually painted to look like marble and East Slate carvings.
Huh.
So it's not even in size. Those are all painted designs. The end of the house, the original house, is right here for the upstairs. Mr. Nelms put wide. You can see the wide part of pine up here. Whereas downstairs, when we go back down, this continues through all the upstairs and down the stairs. When we get downstairs, you'll see smaller planks, I didn't mention that before, of tiger oak wood, which was that's expensive today. I can't imagine how much it must have cost for him to have that kind of flooring, but that was very much turn of the century, Art Nouveau or Art Deco, to have these narrow boards. This is more typical of Victorian. And this is the original varnish. We did not strip it. We just put a polyurethane on to protect what was left as the original flooring in here.
They don't make the floors like they used to. These are built to last right here, like Duralast.
Yeah. So I didn't want to refinish the upstairs. We did refinish the stairs because it was a mess. So we did do those, but most upstairs and downstairs the flooring
is original. It's an original state. Wow.
Yeah.
If these walls could talk.
I know. 2 beds in here to demonstrate the East Lake style.
Okay.
Of bed. And then this is called a spindle bed, which was is a little earlier, more like, I'm not sure when the spindle bed started, probably mid-century. This is a really beautiful one.
It's pretty.
And we do have the Asian influence.
Yeah.
Here. And this is a set. This bed and this bureau go together. That's another Charles Eastlake style furniture. And we also have another bureau out here. This is Eastlake furniture.
This is such a cute room.
Yeah, this is kind of like, I think was originally maybe a side porch for sleeping, because the window is still here.
Mm-hmm.
And I have no idea when this room was added, or this bathroom. I don't know when all of the time periods for adding on to this house were, but we definitely have the end of the house finally.
Well, this is a big house.
Back then, they would just keep building on to the back of the house.
Oh, wow, look at the stairs down here. Well, after learning all about the Nelms House, you gotta take a trip here to Smithfield Historic District and check out this timeless beauty for yourself, whether it's a tour or a cup of tea.